still, I'm always like, I don't understand. Yeah. I'll use a better style. You're just oh my god. I love your handwriting. I was even thinking that when I looked at my little checklist, and I was like, damn. I have like mediocre handwriting, but there are some days when I'm just like, I just scribble.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And then it's in like third grade.
Yep.
I taught myself how to write.
Nice.
Fourth grade with like exercises.
Yeah.
Those are big. I like writing.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
And you can
Right, exactly. Like I have no idea what the scribble is.
write.
My mom has some of the worst cursive handwriting ever. And for a girl, yeah, for like, and usually girls, I feel like generally, most of the time, we have better handwriting, guys. But
That's my
see, even that's really pretty. It looks like font.
Yeah, I can tell that.
I
I like it.
like that.
I have a nice.
Mhm. I get pretty cursive and then
Pretty person.
yeah.
They use it to
Right. I like it. See, I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. And I also, because I have to like check everything off. It's just like I don't know. It's something about it where I have to physically like mark off my tasks, and then instead of doing it in my book, like my day-to-day tasks, I always make this is so baseball, but I make sticky notes, and then I divide up my sticky note. I'll divide it like in half, and then I'll be like, this is my morning. And then check. I'm so ridiculous. Not like I'm gonna call like tasks, little tasks. Because I had quotes on the bottom of the screen, but just like general quotes that I had written down. And so like about the day, and then yeah, my I keep track of like what did I saw from the week, and then every day. But then it's helpful because then if I check off everything, it's like a nice relief to throw this in.
Based on
Right. Which is smart too. Because that can Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We and I don't mean this in a harsh way, but it's our big session for our new book. We are
Yes.
this process.
I'm very excited. Joe made me so. He said he made you so.
And you weren't.
I wasn't gonna go because I'm like, oh, we remember.
Yeah.
And then he said that I think I was like a tiebreaker.
You're very lying.
I might have been.
I think I might have been a tiebreaker because he emailed me and was like, "We need to vote." And I was like, "Okay." I voted, and immediately the email went out.
Oh, then maybe you were.
So I voted.
No, I'm glad I voted for that one. I mean, again, I would have read
They both looked good.
They both looked good, and I was like, oh, this sounds good for October. And then we were thinking too, like, doing, well, I don't know if to do it as news press. Okay, that might be
Halloween for Halloween. That's what I was thinking. Like a scary novel. You'll see.
You'll see. I realized after I said that, I was like, oh, I should have
Well, when do I find out? Do I find out our next meeting?
Yeah.
What did we decide? October.
Yes, October 7th.
I want to get him
Sweet.
before, like, he should develop the questions that
Right.
the talent issue, where
It
Tom,
would be great.
like, the
I'm
reason why we want to solve is
I can't believe we're coming up on
here
Halloween.
is on, like, the labor law in the US or
Don't
whatever.
worry, I'm like,
And so,
and I have to move, and I have like,
Are you moving? Where are you moving?
I'm still
lots
walking
of
down
focus and hiring and talent
and
and like,
and
I hope
I've checked out a couple
is
houses.
enough.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's also here. I'm like,
I feel like for us the same. One of our new hires, they Taylor
It's just a little different than the style.
apartment lined up and then like showed up or called and 2 days before she was supposed to move in, they canceled on her. Like the landlord was like, oh sorry, we gave her room or something else. So we had to find the apartment in 2 days. 2 days. And she did.
how do they do that? How do they cancel? Like, what does that happen? Like, I signed mine was like, also, we're super excited because this one counts. So we were like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. So hopefully. Because otherwise, like, and then 20 more people don't get in there. So bad.
No, he's cool, but he's like
Oh, yeah. Like super focused.
Yeah, they're very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I know, I see it. And it's like,
It's really warm right here. I said, you sit there. I was going to sit. I read that whole email this morning. I was just like, and then I like read it. It's like touche.
Guys, come in.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone.
All right. Welcome, guys. Those of you that this is your first one, this is a time when we come together as a company for 20, 30 minutes. We just give updates, quick updates, exciting stuff that's happening. It's a way for us to make sure that we're all in line and informed all the time. It's just cool to come together in one room. So we're going to talk about, we're going to celebrate anniversaries and new hires, release. We're going to give you guys updates on rocks and then some updates on some new roles, changing roles, things like that. Release.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to be up here for a few minutes today. We have a lot of new hires, lots of anniversaries, so buckle up. Let's start with the new hires. So new hires, I'll call, hey everybody, wait one up, nice. I'll call your name, I'll say a little bit about you, and then just like, here, I'll give them a round of applause and say hi. So first up is Allie Cortez. Hi. Allie was just graduated from Iowa. She worked for Scope Productions, which is like the student org that brings bands on campus, and she played water polo with our very own Knife Club. Cool. We have Ryan Hamsingel. Ryan? Hey, Ryan. Ryan comes from executive recruiting, so he's been on our sales team, but our some kind of executive recruiting executives. So welcome, Ryan. Derek Treacle. Derek comes from us with 5 years of experience at the Marriott. Yay, Derek. Joe Jennings. Joe has some experience working with like online gamers and increasing the followers and working with social media. So welcome to Joe. Sam Cleet. Sam has sideline reporting experience with Big Ten Network. Cool, right? Michaela Renberg. That's me. Hey, Michaela. Haven't met you. Nice to meet you. Michaela's coming from Colorado, and she has an interesting story for if anyone wants to talk to her about having an apartment here. And
oh yeah, my landlord backed out like after I shipped all my stuff to Chicago, waiting to come from Colorado. So
nice.
it was fun. Found a place, it's all good, but it's like a little frustrating for minutes. So
I'm sure.
A little scary, yeah.
Welcome, Michaela. And Abby Levitsky. Abby has just one technical, but she works for a fashion magazine in Detroit, either right after college or during college, but I just love her in school. So this is Abby. And then Michael Galloway. You know what fun fact I'm pulling for you? So Mike worked at Disney like as an internship, and he was friends with Goofy. Like was doing heel pop. And lastly, we have Kevin Bosinger. Kevin is our new VP of Guerrero, and he comes from us most recently from Discover Card. And his side hustle, he does black and white portraits. Cool. On anniversaries, we have lots. All right, so celebrating 1 year, we have Thomas. 2 years is Skylar Garfield. 3 years, Mary Kellogg and Brandon Pavrilka. 4 years, Katie Richards. 5 years,
Yeah, me.
Actually, Cindy.
Oh, it's me. Hi, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Cindy Fletcher, and I work in the creative department. So I want to just give you a status update about where we are on one of our 3 company rocks this quarter. I'll read you the rock, and then I'll kind of explain what it is and where we are. So the rock is to update AG's vision and content strategy to secure its place in the market and attract the next generation. What that means is that basically we've realized over the years and through research with our audience that AG is really one of our flagship brands. And we want to spend our time to elevate it to be exactly what the readers want after talking. So some of the things that we've decided to do to that end are to really hone in on the content strategy for the print, and then for the digital, and then the third piece is this kind of isolating the Hispanic millennial next gen. So it's kind of 3 different moving pieces happening all at once. We decided for the print that we're going to switch to 4. Actually, I'm talking really fast. We're switching to 4 times a year to sort of reflect the fiscal year and sort of be more aligned with the business calendar. And we're also taking that to the next level where we're still producing hand content. We're really proud of how that's coming together. We're adding an additional element of original content that is really focused on topics that executives want to hear about. We'll have sections where we'll have really well-known writers from the that we're going to be with high-level CEOs and other people. We'll also be doing some talent reports from big agencies like the Stanford Latino Entrepreneur Initiative, and a few other places, so that we're really focusing each issue on the issues that our audience wants to know. So the first issue will be coming out in a little different. That'll be the January issue, and we are working to make it be the best thing it can possibly be. In concert with that, we're doing a new newsletter strategy, which we're actually going to roll out in Q4, so we have to make sure we get it exactly right. So you'll see that coming through every other week, instead of monthly, with more topic focus, just a different way to get at the content. So if you think about the profile newsletter, kind of taking what we've learned there and bringing that into the HG market. And then the third piece is this new brand, which we've had for a long time in terms of events. Next Gen Leader Race, you see like the hashtag logo. But we've decided really that this is a market that we haven't paid enough attention to. And so we're developing a totally new brand named TBD that will be email newsletter only and events. So really just getting right to the heart of what this group of people is interested in. And we're also launching that in October. So moving quickly. I think that's it, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
My name is Caleb. I'm also from our creative department. I am our design and photography director, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our another one of our company rocks that Mark owns, which is to determine our brand ecosystem and our operating strategy. And basically what that means, like brand ecosystem, operating strategy for our brands, it's really trying to understand and articulate how our brands work together or not, how they live in the world, and sort of more at a high level, articulate what our business model is in terms of those brand relationships. So some of the work that we've already done this quarter is we split up into a few different teams. We had a team that was doing some internal research or really documentation, if you will, where we were looking at like, what do our brands say about themselves today? How are they playing together right now? What are some of the limitations that we see among our brands, either from a content perspective or from a sales like territory and rules perspective? And we sort of just have documented everything that we know about our brands today in those senses. We had another team that was doing some external research. We were looking at some organizations that have mini brands like we do and sort of trying to understand, well, how do those organizations let their brands play together? How do they go to market with their mini brands, or maybe don't? So we started documenting all this type of different information, and now where we are in the rock is Mark and I are sort of compiling all that information together and trying to distill it into articulating our business model and what we want our brands to do together. So over the next 3 or so weeks in the quarter, we'll be creating some diagrams and communication strategies around what we believe our brands should be doing with one another, and we'll be sharing that information with you once it's sort of solidified. But it sounds kind of boring, but I think it will actually be a really interesting thing for you all to just sort of know what are our brands doing, because a lot of times our brands just sort of exist in some silos when it comes to the sales process and production, but there's actually a lot of information about how they should play or not play that everyone needs to know about. So yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys an update on our People Rock that we had this quarter. But to do that, I need to take a step back and go to the creative department. So stick with me. So a few weeks ago, Danny, our editor on Profile Magazine, got a new opportunity. I don't know what it was, but he got a new opportunity and he resigned, which left a gap in one of our anchor brands, one of our biggest brands. And we had to fill that gap. We were looking externally. And then we thought, well, who better to take that position than the woman who built it out to begin with, which is Megan. And so we started to think about it, and we decided, I guess, that Megan would be better in that role, or would at least be the best person for that role, to take over that role. But as you know, Megan has an important new role that we created this quarter, which is working on some of that original content and topical content that Cindy was talking about earlier. And so we had a gap to fill there. And how many of you know, she's not here, but how many of you know that Kathy Kantorski, our director of people, used to run creative? Half, maybe less. So Kathy is a journalist by education and trade. She worked as a journalist, she worked as an editor here, and then she ran a creative department for several years, at least 2. She is interested in working on this original content, this topical content, getting back into the writing portion of what she used to do. And along with that is creating our strategy for content. We're not going to stop with AG, I don't believe, and doing some of this original non-co-branded content work. So Kathy has taken a position that's slightly modified from what Megan's was. She's going to work with Cindy and Vianney to see this HE stuff through, and then we'll transition that at some point. And after that, she's going to partner and report directly to Kevin to help him partner with the BD team and other teams in the company to build out and figure out what's next for us from a content strategy perspective, from a new products perspective, content products perspective, and actually also write for us, do the writing for us internally. So that obviously leaves a gap in the director of people department. So Kathy, as the director of people, took over in January in this new box that we created, and she was responsible for recruiting, all things recruiting and talent acquisition. She was responsible for our employer brand. She was responsible for employee development. So employee development is our LDP program right now. It's our LDP program. It's our management forums, and it's some of the documentation that we're putting together to help employees grow and learn and develop. So to fill that gap, we're expanding Meg and Elise's role. So starting today, this week, Elise will take over all things recruiting, including our employer brand. So she will be responsible for attracting the best people that we can attract. You just started. She will be, I guess we have another role to announce. Those of you who don't know, where's Wes? Wes left recruiting today and is now a CAM. So Wes has been with us for a year and a half. And I think he's going to do great. So that obviously leaves a gap in our recruiting department. We're figuring out what to do with that gap, whether it's hiring a new person or just giving Elise a lot of budget to advertise and get our employer brand out there and drive some incoming employees. So Elise's role is expanding today. Also, Meg, who is our office manager, but also runs human resources and employee engagement, employee experience, is that what we call it? The employee experience team. So Meg is going to take on Kathy's development side of that rock, or that role, really. So she's going to, aside from HR and and employee engagement and experience, she is going to take on all things development. So she's your go-to person if you want to learn, if you want to be an LDP, if you want to know what a management form even is, if you want to know where our documentation is, she's your woman. So those are two, there's a bunch of big roles changes. I don't know how these stars align for all these moves to actually take place. If even one of them didn't, we would be screwed. We wouldn't be in this spot. But they did. So congratulations to everyone who has a new role today.
I'll close it out. I just have a quick announcement to make. It's about open work. So today marks 3 weeks from open work, our second event. I know, I'm going to get to it. 3 weeks from today is our next open work event. So what is open work for everybody that's new and hasn't heard of it before? So open work is a new event series that we launched earlier this year by Guerrero. In essence, it's a speaker series that we have taken and made it externally facing. So it really is about bringing clients from our networks to come in, speak, scale great lessons out to not just our employees, so it's for all of us to attend, but also our external audience. So we invite clients and everybody else involved as well. So the second event is 3 weeks from today, and it's featuring Jason Brown, who is a former Modern Council client. I think he was a former cover in 2016, and we featured him twice. He is the general counsel of the Americans for Dyson, and he's coming in. We're having a vendor partner from Kirkland & Ellis, which is one of their vendors, come in and actually introduce him to all of us, which I think is a really cool way to sort of showcase that vendor partner relationship that we do on our print. Now we're doing it on stage and live, so in person. But the reason I'm wanting to make this announcement is, one, it's been happening in 3 weeks. Two, we were initially thinking about keeping this to a sort of a legal audience only when we were thinking about the external audience and who to invite. But we thought through that, and it's like, this is such a great thing that we've launched and we do, and why not open that up to more of our clients? So the call to action is, in fact, I'm going to share with everybody post G Live today a template and some marketing alerts for everybody to just promote this event. Post it on LinkedIn, share an email with your clients here in Chicago, maybe some prospective clients, like people you're talking to, and say, hey, we've got this great event coming up. You should be there. So I will send that out to everybody. Let's spread the word and make it really great. Great. And then I think that wraps. Yeah, thanks, everybody.